Good evening, students. So today, before starting the class, am I audible? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So before starting the class today, I want to discuss uh, that what we have discussed till now, because now you have gone through major part of the syllabus. Okay, we have seen the basics of your engineering graphics. After that, we have seen your introduction to your AutoCAD. Then you have learned your 2D commands, how to draw your 2D figures. We have seen 6 examples for your 2D diagrams. And after that, various projections. Projections means your orthographic projection and isometric view. Okay, when I'm saying orthographic projection, it means you have learned to draw your front view, side view, and top views of the given components. Then we have also seen your 3D commands, uh, the modeling strategy like top-down modeling and bottom-up modeling, geometric primitives that are available in your AutoCAD software. And in the last class, what we have studied, now you will tell me. Anyone? Anyone from the class? Yeah.
3D modeling, sir.
Yes, we have gone through the 3D modeling software commands. Okay. So what are the various commands that we have learned in the last class?
Sweep,
Uh,
Top view,
region,
front view, side view.
union,
rotate,
If
Um,
okay, union,
sweep.
subtract, and intersection. If we will talk about these 3 commands, then union, subtract, and intersect, they are Boolean operation. So we have seen how to use your Boolean operation. Okay, next,
Vision,
sweep command,
sweep
extrude
command,
command, extrude
revolve,
command and sweep command we have seen. Can any revolve command we have seen? Very good. Anything else?
Region command.
Region command we have seen. Okay, so now can anyone tell me the difference between your extrude command and your sweep command? What is the what is the difference between your extrude and sweep command? Anyone in the class? Very basic thing I have explained you. Try to recall.
in extrude, we can extrude that object only in perpendicular direction.
Very
In
good.
sweep,
And in
sweep, we can extend in any
we
direction.
can draw a solid in any direction.
yes, in any direction mean to say that across any path. Suppose you have a rectangular cross section like this, my mobile phone. Okay, if I will extrude it, it will become a box. Okay, or cuboid. But if I want to make it into 3 dimension at certain different path, okay, then you can use your sweep command. So in sweep you need 2 things, the profile and the path. The profile will be extended across the path provided. Okay, so This is the difference between your sweep and extrude. Okay. So this is just a quick brush up of what we have studied till now. Now I will switch over to our software interface, that is your AutoCAD software. Version is 2016 and we are using academic version of this software. Parent company is Autodesk. Remember these things. Okay. This will be helpful for your Viva questions. Now I'm switching to your software interface. So as you can see here in the recent documents, the works that we did in your last class, you can see it from here. This is your geometric primitive. This is your steps problem. Uh, this is your inclined problem. And this is one more, you can say, extrude problem we have solved using this. Then here we have done using your revolve command. Okay. So I will start a new drawing. So you can click here to start the new drawing, or here you can click to add a new tab, that is your new drawing. Okay. So now you can see we have started a new drawing, and today I want to start with this loft command. Okay. In 3D commands, if we will see now, we have seen your extrude, we have seen your revolve, we have seen your sweep command. The only thing that is left is your loft command. Okay. So today we will finish that part also. So let's begin. For loft, first I would like to give you one introduction. Uh, at some places, like you might have seen over bridges on the highway or inside the city. So you can observe that those those pillars are not with constant cross section. Okay, like uh, I will draw one circle. Okay, this is circle, and you can see here X and Y. Okay, it means we are in your two-dimensional work space. By clicking here, you can get your three-dimensional workspace, like your X, Y, and Z coordinate you will be able to see here. Okay, so what I will do, first I will show you one extrude command. For extrude command, you click here and select the object and press enter, and it will ask for the height. What height do we need to extrude it? Okay, so randomly I am giving randomly. You are not able to see a complete cylinder. Why you are not able to see here a complete cylinder? Can anyone tell me? Because here you can see it is showing
2D
2D,
wireframe.
yes, 2D wireframe. So you need to change it to realistic or conceptual, or set it with ages. Okay, then you will be able to see your cylinder. Okay, so we have extended a surface, a circular surface in Z direction to obtain a cylinder. Okay, this is your extrude. Now I will take one example of sweep command. I have taken one circle, then I will draw one profile. Okay, and then you can go for your sweep command. So first you have to select the object which you want to sweep, then you have to press enter on your keyboard, and then you have to select the path. You can see for every step, you can see here in the command line what it is asking. So here it is asking for define the path where you want to sweep it, and you will get something like this. Now the thing is, my question is, for both the figures on your screen, you have one cylinder, and here you can say one small pipe segment. Okay, here the object is extruded but not across the perpendicular direction, but it is extruded across a path. But in both the things, the common is wherever you will cut it, wherever, from, suppose you are cutting it from here, let me use a notation. Okay, suppose you are taking a knife and cutting up from here, you will get a circle. If you are cutting from here, you will get a circle again. Okay, it means throughout, wherever you will cut it parallel to this plane top surface, you will get this circle whatever is here. Okay, at every location you will get the same circle. Same situation is for here also. If you are cutting it from here, just parallel cutting surface to your this surface, you will get the same circle what is over here. But at some places, if you observe, when your bridges are railway bridges or your over bridges or many places, you might have seen the pillars are of changing cross section like this. Okay, so for these cross sections, if you will observe, if you are cutting it at every location, you are getting different cross section. So for such situation, you have this command called as loft. This is your command, that is your loft. So my intention was to tell you the difference between extrude, sweep, and loft, because this question may be asked in your Viva examination, that what is the difference between extrude, sweep, and loft. Okay, so let's see one example, one simple example for your loft command. So I will clear this annotation. Yeah. And as I have told you that we need different cross sections. So let's try with different cross sections. So initially I will take one rectangle. Let me clear this. Okay. Now on top view, what I will do, top view means I'm taking this XY plane. As you can see here, the coordinates that are visible is XY. So on, we are drawing an XY plane. I will draw one rectangle. Okay, so specify the first corner point starting from here, and you can give the dimensions also. So by default, you can see here it is showing 10. Okay, so you can keep that same dimension here. Width also will keep it as, let's make it little bit more, make it 15. Okay, so your rectangle is drawn, but you are not able to see this in your uh, visible workspace. So for that, you know, well known that the command that you have to use here is your zoom, Z, enter, and then a enter. Very good. Someone has written in the chat box. So This is the rectangle that we have obtained. Now, as I told you that we are going or we will be working with different cross sections. Okay, a rectangle I have drawn. So now I am taking one circle. So I would like to keep it at the center. So you can see here how I am finding out the center point, and now it is asking for the radius of the circle. Okay, so we will keep the radius as suppose 5. So now two cross sections are visible here. One is your rectangle and one is your circle. Now you can take one more cross section. Let's take some polygon. Polygon means we will take with sides. You can enter the number of sides here. By default, it is 4. So we will make it as 6. So we are going to draw a hexagon. It is asking to specify the center of your polygon. So this is your center. How we will get the center point? For that, you bring your cursor to the circle available on the screen, and automatically the center point will be highlighted. You can see here one cross bar is coming at the center location. Automatically AutoCAD will show you. Okay, so from here I want to draw my hexagon. Now it is asking, you can see in the command line, whether you want to draw inscribed in the circle or circumscribed about the circle. Okay, so we will inscribe it, specify the radius of circle. So you can keep 10 as your previous, or you can take it as per your choice. So let's keep it as 8. Radius it is asking, so it will be 4. I will take. So here we have 3 different cross section. Okay. In the same way, suppose if I draw similar surface in the parallel location, I will take. Yeah, I would like to draw a circle of radius 5. Okay. Now we are working on your XY plane. To see this figure in 3 dimension, we need to go to your isometric view. So here on right hand side top corner, you can see one home button is there. Either you can click here, or on the left hand side you can see here the option will come, so you can switch to any isometric view. On both the sides you have options, so you can click on any of them. So let's go to the isometric view. Now you can see here that all the 3 figures are in same plane. Okay, all the 3 figures are in same plane. So what I will do, I will change its plane. Changing its plane means I will change its Z coordinate. You can see here Z coordinate is pointing in upward direction. Okay, so I'm going to shift this circle. Now it is at Z equals to 0. So I will bring that to Z equals to some other value. So let's, we will do it by using your move command. You have here. So once you click on this move command, select the object which you want to move, press enter. Now it will ask you specify the base point. Definitely we will be looking to extrude it through the center location. Okay. So what I will do, just I will bring my cursor onto that circle. Automatically the center point will be highlighted. And now you can see it is now ready to move in any direction. You can move this circle to any location. Okay, but we have defined our objective that we want to move in positive z direction, means perpendicular to the paper. Okay, whenever this perpendicular term is coming, the keyword that is coming to my mind, or it must come to your mind also, that is your ortho mode. As you can see here, ortho mode. Okay, so you can switch on to ortho mode. Now you can see here that this
Wait, Dada.
please mute yourself, some disturbing noise is coming. Okay, now see carefully what I want to show you on the screen. Here I have kept my cursor stationary. Just next to the cursor you can see something is written ortho 14.1200, and one less than symbol is there that is representing your angle, and beyond that it is written positive z, means we are moving in positive z direction. Ortho means we are moving in perpendicular direction, and 14.12 is means the distance that we are moving. Okay, so you can change the distance, like see, as I am moving my cursor from top to bottom, the value is changing automatically. So if you have that known value, you can simply enter here that value. Suppose you want to move it at a distance of 10. So see here, the cursor I have shown in downward direction, so it went to your, see, now this is the plane. This is your xy plane and your circle is below z. Okay, if you want to take it in positive direction, you need to select the component, click on this move command, select the object, press enter, specify the center location in upward direction, switch on the ortho mode, keep your cursor in the direction in which you want to move and specify the value that you want to move. Now you can see I am willing to move this at a distance of 10 units. So I have enter 1 and 0, then press enter. Now again I will rotate to show you that the circle is shifted in positive z direction. As you can see here on your screen, this circle is above the previous plane. Now we are changing the plane of our drawing. Okay. The next task is we have this hexagon. I will move this hexagon also. For that, again, I'm going to click on this move, select this hexagon, press enter, base point. Again, I would like to have that center point, and I will move in positive z direction. Okay, so now it is asking for the distance, how much or where I want to shift this hexagon and in which direction. So if my cursor is in positive z direction, it will go to the upper part of the rectangle. If I'll keep my cursor downside, then it will go in that direction. So let's move it in positive direction, and the value is 20. I will keep. Now see, once again I will rotate you the coordinate system. I am rotating with the help of scroll key of my mouse. I have pressed the scroll key of my mouse, and together along with that scroll key I have also pressed shift key on the keyboard. So the combination of shift key on the keyboard and scroll key on the mouse, I am able to rotate my figure here. Now you can clearly see that these all three figures are in different plane. Different plane means different z value. So this circle is at z equals to 10, and this hexagon, this is your hexagon, this is at z equals to 20. Now, this is the most important part of your loft command, because many times students get confused that they move this object but it does not move in z direction, they move it in somewhere in your x and y, and they don't rotate this and visualize where is your, whether it is actually at different z locations or not. So let's again go to this loft command. I have selected the loft command from here. Now see what it is asking. It is asking select the different cross sections in lofting order. So select first object, second object, third object. Okay. So as you can see here, you have made a 3D component with changing cross section. Now it is asking, after selecting those profiles, you have to press enter and one more time enter. So this is the profile that we have obtained by joining that three figures. So you can take any three different cross sections. Okay, I have taken three for proper understanding of yours. If you want to take lesser or even more, you can take it. Okay, so with this figure, what I was showing you, we have taken a circle on xy plane. Suppose I want to copy this, I will copy this. Do we have that option? Copy the selection. Okay, now base point, I will specify the center, and in positive z direction, I am taking this at a distance of 10, and again at a distance of 20. The same locations where I have taken your hexagon and the previous circle. Now, here I am going to use that loft command. See here, we have obtained that cylinder. It means it is not necessary that you have to select different cross sections using same cross section also, but here we will get the same as we have obtained using your extrude command. Okay, so this I have shown you as an example. One more time I will show you, because this is little bit I have observed in previous sessions. Students find it a little bit difficult. So you can take, now you can keep this circle at the bottom. Let's keep the radius as 5, no issue. Now in between I am taking one hexagon. This time let's keep it, oh, by default it is 6. So let's keep it as 6. Center we will take this. It is again asking inscribed or circumscribed. Okay. Now radius you have to specify. Let's make it little bit larger, or you can keep it smaller as well. Okay. Make it 3. And again, you can keep one circle or any other thing, any other geometry. So I will take this circle only, and I will copy this circle and move it in positive z direction. Let's keep it at 20. Okay. This hexagon, how to move? Select this hexagon. Okay. Then click on this move command. On the top, you can see here you have move command. It will ask for the base point. We will select the base point as center, and you can move it as per your choice. So for similarity, I will take it here also as 10. So we have moved those 3 planes. Now, after doing this, what you need to do, you need to rotate the figure and you have to check whether they are in different plane or not. You can clearly see here in front view. Yeah, you can see there they are in different z axis. Z axis is visible here, and one is at z equals to 0. This profile is at z equals to 10, and this profile is at z equals to 20 if we are looking on the front view. Okay, if we will look it from the top view, then you will see all of them at one plane. Yeah, see here. From the top, they all will seems to be at one plane. So go to isometric. Then you will be able to see them at different locations. Okay. Now you use this loft command. Select those 3 profiles and then you can press enter. One more enter. This is what you will get. So this is how you can draw geometries with different cross section. Here you can see if you will cut it at different locations, you will get different geometries or different profile planes. Okay, so this is your loft command. Is this clear to all of you? And I hope this is quite interesting also. You will love to practice this command. Okay, so please type in the chat box if it is clear to you. If anybody is having any doubt, you can ask me. Session is open to all. We have total participants 59. If I'll remove myself, we have 57 participants, but I have not received around 50% also for this clear, sir. If anybody is having any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so now I will show you one more command over here. Very useful command that is your shell command is there. This command shell shell. Okay, so first try to understand what is this shell command. Suppose you have drawn any box. Let's draw the box over here. This is your box and we want to sell it, means this is a closed volume. Okay, and if you want to keep something inside it, you need hollow it. You need to cut a portion of it. Okay, so for this you can use this shell command. It converts a 3D solid into hollow shell with wall of specified thickness. Okay, so what is its meaning? We will see with example. So let's go for this command. You click on this shell command. Now it is asking you select a 3D solid. So this is your 3D solid. Select this object. Okay. Now after selecting, you can see here in the command line, it is asking for solid edit remove faces. It means it is asking to remove any one face. Suppose you want to pour something, So there should be some open surface. So I will remove the top surface. I'm selecting this top surface. You can observe here the color of top surface had changed. Now it is looking gray color. Earlier it was bluish white. Okay. Then press enter. After selecting that face, press enter. It is asking, you can see in the command line, enter the cell offset distance, means how much the thickness of the box you want to keep. So let's keep the thickness as 2 units. And you can see here, after pressing enter, you will get a box. This is your cell command. Okay. Once again, you need to press enter. So this is how you can use this cell command. Okay. So you can use this cell command from all the surface. Let's try to do from this side also. Suppose I want to offset distance to imprint cell. The face I want to remove is not that one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this face now I have selected. Cell offset distance I will keep it as 2, and you can see we have cut that object from this side also. Okay. Similarly, from this side also, I will use that same command. So face I have forget to select. Go to this cell command. Already we have cell, that's why it is not happening. Okay. So this is how you can use this cell command. Suppose this you want to make it as like some glass. Okay. So here also you can use this cell command. This is your 3D object, press enter, and it is asking for cell offset distance. It is not removing. It is removed. It is already removed, but that is not visible because of this face. Delete face. We can select this face and enter. Still that is not removed. Why this is not showing? Multiple faces are getting selected. This is the region we are facing the problem. You have to select the face very carefully. Then only you will be able to get this. Multiple faces are getting selected here. So the basic funda is you might have understand how to use this cell command. Here we have multiple faces, and see we have selected the wrong face. That is why we are not able to perform here your cell command. Okay. Now you can see here we had done that. It is now clearly visible on your screen. You can see here we have done that cell command. So this is how you can use your cell command. Now almost all the useful commands that can be of use we have discussed for your 3D part also. This is your section plane. If you want to create a section of, you want to see any means surface section plane, then you can see that. This is how you can cut a section. You can rotate it and you can visualize. I have created the half cut portion here. So once again, I will show you this. Control Z. Control Z is for undo. Okay. Now, suppose for any figure you want to see the cut portion, cross section. So for that, you can use this section plane and you can draw that section. Suppose I want to draw this at an angle of 90 degree. So you will be able to see the cut portion. I'm trying to rotate this plane in horizontal direction. How to do that? So this is your cut plane of your this pillar also. You can see that we have made that cell. So this is hollow from inside. So this is another tool that is your section plane. So one more command is here, your polylines. We have already discussed. This is your all draw command. This is your modify. Polysolid, I have told you earlier, it is like your polyline, but only thing is it will give you in 3-dimensional. So suppose you are going to draw any uh, means civil drawing, or you are going to draw any house plan. So to defining any boundary, you can use this using your polysolid. This press pull is to pull any surface. Suppose if you have any surface, take the example of this one only. Okay, if you want to pull any already built surface, you can pull it using this command, press pull. Suppose I want to extend this surface. So see, you can extend its height. I hope it is visible to all of you. You can extend or you can reduce its height. Both you can do. So this I have extended its height. Or you can reduce its height also. This I have extended. Again, I will show you for reduction also. See, I have reduced it to your original location. So like this, you can press or pull. As the name is saying you can either press it or you can pull it. So this is your press pull. For that, you have to click on that command, and then you have to select a face which you want to pull, or this is pulling and this is pressing option. Okay, pressing means you are cutting the extra portion, and pulling means you are adding extra material to it, like this. Okay, so these are all your 3D commands we have finished today. Now you can draw any simple 3D components. You can practice it at your home, or if you have any doubt related to any commands we have discussed till now, you can ask me. If anybody is having any doubt till now for any commands we have discussed, you can ask me. If you have the concept clear, then you type in the chat box, concept clear, sir. It means CCS you have to type. Concept clear, sir. CCS. Okay, if it is clear to everyone, then we will take a short break. It's 11:48, 11:50. Okay, so we will start again after 10 minutes. So at 12 o'clock, we will again start. But that time you can stay connected to this Zoom application. I'm not closing this. I'm only going to mute myself, and we will start again at 12 o'clock.
On video. ఎవరా పోతాను ఎటు పోతాను నేను మారా ఆఫీస్ పెట్టి ఉంటాడు పోతాను
రాపర్తినేడు పురుషోగ్రామం దాస పురుషోగ్రామం
ఎక్కువ రాగా
రాపర్తి పర్యాడు దాస గాలి గామ్ దేవుళ్ళ అదే ఊరు
నా 6 రూపాయలు తీసుకున్నా ఏ నోర్మి నువ్వేమన్నా మాస్క్ వదిలా
Okay, so I am back, and now I will tell you few more one or two commands, and I will show you one drawing also. So let's see. I hope you all are here. We have 59 participants. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, now I hope it is visible to all of you. Now there is one command called helix. Okay, so if you want to make in certain situations, suppose you have to make any spring. So in that situation, you can go for this helix command. Okay, suppose you want to draw any spring. So first you have to make a helix. So the command is HELIX. Go for this helix command. Now it is asking for, suppose you have spring, so the spring will be having some length and it is circular in nature, means coils are rounded circularly. Okay, so two things you have to specify here. What will be the radius of that circle and what will be the radius of the wire of your spring? Okay, so first we will specify the center point. This is our center point. Now here you can see it is asking for the base radius. So let's keep it as 10 base radius. Now it is asking for top radius. So we are on XY plane. So it is looking like this. Let's move on to your isometric plane for proper visibility. Yeah. So top radius also, let's increase it. Okay, first we will go with 10 and then in next slot I will increase it. So now it is asking you for the height of this helix. What the length of this spring you want? Okay, and what the length of this helix you want? Okay, so you can increase the length or decrease or keep as per your requirement. So let's keep it as 15. This is the helix that you will obtain. This is that helix you can see clearly. Okay, now if you want to convert this helix into your spring, so which command we can use to make this helix into spring? You can use sweep command. Okay, I will type here in the chat. All of you please type sweep in the command chat box. Let me see how many of you are listening actively. Okay, that's good. So we will use sweep command. We will treat this helix as your path and profile you can select of your choice. So let's take one circle and let's specify a smaller diameter. Okay. So we will consider this as your profile and this as your path and we will sweep it. Select the object. This is my object. Okay, then press enter. Now it is asking sweep path. This is my path. So you can see here your spring is ready, but it is in wireframe mode. So it is looking like this. Switch this to your realistic view and you will be able to see the spring over here. Okay, this is your spring you can see on the screen. So here we have kept both the diameters, the top diameter as well as the bottom diameter same. I will show you one more example. Go for the helix command. In the command line, you can see I have written helix print. Okay. Need to point radius, top radius now I'm going to change. You can keep it as 15. Height earlier we have kept 15, so I will keep now also 15. Now you can make circular cross section or any cross section of your choice. Go for this sweep command. For sweep, you need to specify the object. So this is your object. Once you select this, you can change. You can see the color of this circle is changed. Press enter. Now in the line, you can see it is asking for the sweep path. So this is your sweep path, and this is what you will get. You can try this with different cross section also. I'm leaving it up to you. When you can, if you have seen the immersion rod, okay, that used to heat the water inside your bucket, then at the top surface it is helix like this. So for product development, you can use these tools and commands. Okay, so this is about your helix and spring, how you can create a spring. Okay, and I will show you the syllabus also today, what we have covered till now. Okay, so before that, one more command is there, that is your UCS. Okay, universal coordinate system. As you can see here, this is, you can see here the coordinate system XYZ. Okay, so in certain situations, suppose you want to move this coordinate system to some other location, you can do that. Suppose I am drawing any figure and I'm taking one small box, okay, and for performing any operation on this object, suppose I need to shift this coordinate system from its global location to the new position. So for that, the command is UCS. As you can see here, okay. Once you click on that UCS, now you can see the coordinate system is moving. It will move wherever you will place it. Okay, suppose you want to place it at this corner, you can just click on that. Then it will ask what is your x-axis. So you can, if you want to tilt it or you want to change the angle, you can change it from here. Okay, at any angle you can change your, suppose first I will go with perpendicular axis, then I will incline it. Okay, suppose this, in this direction I want to move your x-axis and your xy plane. So suppose this is your xy plane. So now you can see your global coordinate system has been moved from the previous location. It was here and now this is your new location. Okay, so you can even incline it also. Okay, suppose UCS, press enter. Now on this face you want, so you can click on this face. Now it is asking for what is your x-axis. Suppose you want to incline it this time. Okay, now you want to change it, means you want to incline it, so you can do like this. Now it is asking for xy plane, so You can keep your XY plane also as per your choice. So I have inclined it, see. Now suppose you draw anything on this plane, so you can get something inclined to your previous object. Change the color for better visibility. I'm changing the realistic view to shaded with edges. So this you can see how you can change your universal coordinate system, how you can rotate your universal coordinate system as and when required. Okay, wherever you need to draw any complicated 3D objects, this command is very, very helpful. Okay, so all of you type UCS in the chat box. Type UCS. It is stands for Universal Coordinate System. Universal Coordinate System. I will write here. So if you are noting down, you can note it down. UCS stands for Universal Coordinate System. If you are taking down the running notes, you can note it down in your notebook. Whenever you are going to deal with some complicated geometries at some locations, you need to rotate your coordinate axis. So at that time, your UCS command will be helpful. Okay. Now, we will see the syllabus, what we have covered till now. So I will open your syllabus and then share it with you. When you will open your canvas, on the home page, you can see the syllabus. Okay. So from the beginning, we have covered this unit number 1 in the very beginning. Now coming to this unit number 2, you can see here 3D modeling using AutoCAD. We have covered your geometric primitives, extrude, revolve, sweep, loft, press pull, Boolean operation, practice. Okay, you need to practice it. Okay, so that's why in the beginning we were saying that you need any desktop computer and laptop for this subject. Okay, now 3D modeling of different general components. So we have seen 3 to 4 general components also, how to draw that inclined 3D object. 3 cases we have seen: steps problem, inclined object, and one more simple, that cut hole portion was there. Okay, now 3D modeling of mechanical components, those you can consider as your mechanical components. Anyhow, we have seen your spring pulley, I will show you right now, and simple assemblies. Okay, so I will show you one or two components how to build using this 3D command. So this is about your unit number 2. Coming to unit number 3, this was related to your pictorial conversion, means conversion of isometric view to orthographic view and orthographic view to isometric view. In your examination, any one of them will be given and you have to draw the rest. So these things also we have covered using your first angle projection method. Now coming to unit number 4, projection of solids, type of solid, projection of solid in simple position, projection of solids with axis inclined to one reference plane and parallel to other using first angle projection method. So this unit number 4, we will start in the next class, and after that you have demonstration of simple design project. Okay, so all of you from now almost you can say that you have learned around 70 to 75% or almost all tools. Now you have studied all the 2D commands, you have seen all the 3D commands. Now at your home you can see many objects like your chair, like your table, like your fan, ceiling fan, like your lamp post, many objects or many components, sofa set, beddings. So you think or select any interesting component, all of you, that you want to model, and in next class I will see, and I want to see which component you want to draw. Even from internet, if you want to select any object, you can search on Google that 3D components drawn using AutoCAD for civil engineering students. If you are willing to draw any floor plans, like any apartment drawings, so you can opt for that also. But your task is the task that I'm giving to you all, that you have to select any one object and we will discuss it in the next class. Okay, what object you are going to draw, and that will be your project work submission for this subject. Okay, so I hope you all will select some interesting component. Okay, so whenever you find any opportunity, or when this offline classes will start, you can use this department laboratory and you can use this system to draw those components, and we will help you if wherever you find any difficulty, or else if you have computer at your home, try to start drawing those components. But prior to starting that drawing, you must take approval of my approval, that sir, I want to consider this as my project. Okay, for that project some marks are allotted. That's why I'm telling you, before starting to work on that project, you must take my approval. Okay, so this is regarding your syllabus completion. Now coming back to your software part, one or two component I will show you. I'm coming back to your AutoCAD software. Just now we have seen your spring, how to build this spring using helix command, how you can perform this coordinate system transfer or transformations. Now I will show you one simple component, that is pulley. How to draw a pulley. Okay, so starting with simple pulley, then I will show you one drawing, and you can use that drawing also. Okay, so where you have seen pulley in your day-to-day life? Have you seen any pulley? So please tell me where you have seen. Anyone? Anyone from the class?
At home.
Where? At what location? Okay, so at many places where you need to transfer the motion, okay, you need one pulley over there. Okay, so let's draw the basic geometry. Okay, I'm telling you the basic geometry. So I will start with this 2D figure. Length I am taking at random values. So suppose for pulley, we need one axis. So first I will draw the axis or center line of your pulley. Suppose this is your center line of the pulley. Let's convert it to your center line. I hope you all remember how to convert this line type. Here it is not visible. Which command I have to use to change this line type?
Line type.
Yes, the command is line type. Type the line type command, load it, and you can select the center line from this list. This is our center line. Select it. Okay. Now select this line, go to properties, and now if you click on this line type command, here you will see different type of lines by layer, by block, center. So I will convert it to center line. Due to some network issues, my voice was disconnected. Okay, so let's see. I have loaded the different type of lines using the line type command. Okay, now what we will do, we have to select this line, right click, properties, and from here you have to change different line type, that is your center one. Now close it. Now you can see this is your center line that we will use as an axis. Now I will draw a rough sketch. Suppose you want to take the whole of that pulley is to be of diameter 10. So we need to offset this line, or we need to draw one line at a distance of 10 units from here, 5, because that will be your diameter. So this is the 5, and now I will change this to your bilayer, or you can change it to continuous line, then close it. Okay, now take one more line in this direction. You can move 10. This direction, let us move 5. 5. From this side, now I will come 10, 5, 5, and you can close this part. So this is the simplest square or rectangular groove pulley that we can draw. After creating these line segments or this closed figure, you need to convert this into a surface. So for converting this into a surface, which command do we need to apply here? Can anyone tell me? You can go for region command. Okay, so press enter. Now you have to select multiple objects. After selecting all the lines, press enter. Okay, so now this is one region is created. You can see here just above your command line. Okay, here it is written one region is created. Now this is not looking because we are having 2D wireframe. make it shaded with edges, and view, you convert it to isometric view. Okay, now to make this into pulley, we need to use, but the diameter will be very small for the shaft. Okay, no issue. We need to use this revolve command. So using this revolve command, you revolve this object about this axis. This is your axis, starting from here, ending at this point, and you can rotate it for the angle. By default, it is 360. So you can keep it like that only. So this is how you can draw the pulley. This is a simple pulley. If you want to draw, any complicated drawings or any more complicated drawings, that also you can draw. I will show you one example for that also. A pulley with web. Okay, so I will share you that diagram first. Yeah, so this is the diagram, pulley with web. This drawing we are going to draw. So better to take this snipset and we will copy it on your AutoCAD screen so that we need not to switch. Copy, come to your AutoCAD. Okay, I will take a new drawing and you can paste it here. Where is that clipboard, and paste. Okay, so this is our drawing that we need to draw. So the dimensions we can see it from here. Here the section view is given, your top view is given. Okay, so and this is how it will look like in 3D. So this geometry you can draw. Can you draw it? Anyone? Are you getting that confidence that we can draw this command? You can draw this figure using your the commands that you have learned till now. Which command will be used here primarily to draw this component? Can anyone tell me? Revolve command. Revolve command. Just now you have seen we have used your revolve command. So in the same way, we will use that revolve command. You have to draw this geometry and you can revolve it about the axis to get this figure. Okay. So I will show you how to draw that. First, you need to draw one axis line. Draw the axis line. This axis line will be a center line. Go to properties and change the line type. Here it is not coming that center line. So load with the command is line type. Click on this load and select from here center. Click OK. Now change its property, right click, go to properties, line type, change it to center. Okay. Now here you can see, first we have to evaluate here everything, each and everything. Okay. So let me use a notation. Here this portion is, this is your entire AT. So this is your 20. You can see here the phi is written 20. So from here up to here, the distance will be 10. Okay. So you need to offset one line at a distance of 10. So let's draw a line. I will take one line and its length is 35. So let's draw a line of length 35. Okay. So this is our line of length 35. We will increase its size for better visibility. Okay, so now it is visible. So this is your axis line and this is the base of your pulley. Now we will look on, we have to check this distance, at what distance it is. Okay, we need to keep it at a distance of 10 from this line. Okay, so let us check at what distance it is. Okay, so this is your 10 distance line. So move this baseline at this point. Okay, now you are at a distance of 10 units from your base center line. Okay, now after this, what is this thickness? This thickness is, this is your 20 and this is your 40. So the difference is 20. So one side it will be 10. So you can make a line from this point in this direction, keep it as 10. In this direction, you need to move 15. Again, the height will be from center line, it is 40. So 40 minus 10, 30, 30 minus 10, 20. So it will be 20. And again, you have to move in this direction 15. In above direction, you have to move 5. Then in this side, 35, 5, 15, coming down to, it was, I think, 30. No. 20. In this side, 15. And then you can close the figure. Okay. So this is the part that we have drawn. Now you need to create this as a closed region. So use the command region, region command. Select all the lines. So you can do multiple selection with dynamic movement of your mouse also. Okay. So all the lines you can see here, it is selected. It seems to be white is blue, then press enter. One region is created, but this is wireframe, so you are not able to see. So you can change the viewpoint also. So the object is drawn. Okay, the object is drawn. Suppose you want to, if you want to mention all those dimensions, you can mention that dimension in your 2D figure. We have learned that those things earlier also. Okay, so I'm not going into that part. Now switches to isometric view. This is your isometric view. You need to revolve this object about this axis. Axis we have already drawn. Okay. Now angle, if you will see your 2D diagram, okay, it is not completely revolved. So we will not make it 360-degree. Instead, we will make it as 270. Okay. So this is your component, similar to the one you have seen in your drawing. Yeah. And this portion is shown you as the hashed portion. I will show you the hashed portion also. The cut portion, the cut cross section represented by this surface. This eye section, it seems to be eye section. This is your hashed portion that was visible there. Okay. So that was your hashed portion. Now you can see it is exactly looking. Here you can see one keyway is slot cut is there. If you will see here in the 3D diagram, one keyway slot is cut over here. That can be seen at this location also. Okay. This is for locking this pulley on any shaft. Okay. So you can go to the drawing and let's see how to draw that keyway slot. Let's come to some other view. And here, I need to move my coordinate system. Okay. Here I will show you the application of movement of your coordinate axis. Okay. Now I want to draw some figure on this face, this top face. Okay. So what I will do, I will move my coordinate system. UCS, press enter. Now I want to bring this on this, the face you have to select. Which face carefully you have to select. Okay, the face we have selected. No, it is going to some other face. That is wrong. It's not moving in the right direction. Yeah. Okay, they have picked the bottom surface, no issues. Now we need to define your x-axis. I will keep the x-axis in this direction and your y-axis I will keep in this direction. Okay. Now I will remove this 2D diagram that I have pasted here. For that, I will go to the top. In top view, it is not coming. Okay, now I will delete this. Okay, now go to your top view. And for keyway, we need to draw one slot that we have to cut. Okay, so I will draw one rectangle. You can even draw the sector also. So for that, we can offset this part. Let's change it to wireframe for better visibility. And let's see, can I do this offset? Offset distance we can keep as 3 units. Object. Okay, this is a 3D component, so we cannot do the offset. So let's do it with this polyline. After doing this, you can create a closed region for this also. You have to be careful here also while selecting those lines. One line, another line. And press enter. One region is created. Okay. Now let's see how it is looking. Okay. Now you can extrude that surface. Now you can see how into different modes, switching to 3D through realistic through wireframe. So you have to practice accordingly, and then we can box it. You need to select, not box, we actually need to do that extrude part, and this is our surface. Yeah, the surface has been, press enter, and up to next portion, what was the dimension? Let me check. The dimension was 35. So we will keep it as 35. It went on to the opposite side, so we need to mention it negative direction. Minus 35. Okay. After doing this, for making that cut slot, we can use the Boolean of subtract. I want to subtract from this bigger body. Okay, press enter. I want to subtract this smaller body. Press enter. And now you can switch to your realistic view to see that cut slot is now made. This is how you can make a cut slot. And this is your pulley that we were looking to draw. So like this, you have to switch on with different commands. You have to use all the commands that you have learned till now, and you can draw different components. Is this clear? Type in the chat box, clear, sir. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. because that's all from my side for today's class. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I will clarify your doubt. In next class, we will start with the last unit, that is your objects in simple position, their projection, and the object at some inclination to one axis and parallel to one of the plane. That topic we will see in the next class. If you have any doubt, you ask me. If you have no doubt, I will stop this meeting. Okay, it seems it is clear to everyone. So have a nice day. I am going to end the meeting.